Good morning, it's great to stay up late. Good morning to you. Or good afternoon to you. Or good evening to you. Hello, my chickadees, yeah. All right, we are here learning about temperature. We have two different scales to discuss today. We have the English measurement and the metric measurement. The English measurement for temperature is in degrees Fahrenheit, and the metric measurement for temperature is in degrees Celsius, okay? So remember, in the metric system, they like it nice and clean by tens. 0, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, okay? And in the English measurement, we're a little bit sillier. We like all kinds of numbers in our measurements, okay? So not just pretty things in tens. We like, 12 inches equal 1 foot, and then 3 feet equal a yard, and then 5,280 feet equal a mile. In the metric system, they like 1 meter, and then a decameter is 10 meters, and then a hectometer is 100 meters, and then a kilometer is 1,000 meters. See 0, 0, 10, 100, 1,000. And the English measurement, it's 1, 12, 3, 5,280. We're a little bit sillier. Okay, so English temperature is in Fahrenheit, and metric temperature is in Celsius. There are 6 degrees to memorize. In the yellow box at the top of your page, they show you freezing, when water freezes, when water boils, and our body temperature. So these are things that we need to commit to memory. Degrees for states of matter. Okay, so when you have a thermometer, in it is that red liquid. Sometimes it's an element called mercury that is always going to expand and contract at the exact same rate, okay? And that is how we can use it to measure something such as temperature. Or it'll have alcohol that is dyed red that also expands and contracts. Mercury is a very dangerous element and can make you go crazy if you are exposed to too much of it. So that's why it is very accurate, but it is also very dangerous. So this red stuff that you see here, this is ink on a whiteboard. But when you see an actual thermometer, okay, inside it's either mercury, if you want to have a very accurate measurement, or alcohol, okay, which can, not be as accurate as mercury. All right, so can we put water in a thermometer? No, because when it gets down to freezing, the water will freeze and the thermometer won't work anymore, because the temperature of the earth does go past the freezing point of water. We get down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, -6, -12, -20. I mean, it can get cold on our planet. And remember, different liquids freeze at different temperatures. Water, fresh, clean water, is going to freeze at 32 degrees, but salt water is going to freeze at 28.5 degrees, so even lower. So salt water can be liquid at a colder temperature than fresh water. So we can't use water in the thermometer, because once it hits 32 degrees, it will expand and actually break the thermometer, and we can't use it at all anymore. So that's why we put mercury in there. It expands and contracts but doesn't freeze. And same thing with alcohol. It expands and contracts but it doesn't freeze. Okay, so so before we start our schoolwork, we need to take our handy dandy pencil and put our name and today's date at the top of the page. Miss Caitlin is my name. Now don't wear it out. Today is May the 4th. Be with you. Today is Star Wars Day. Oodle lally, golly, what a day. The fight against good and evil is on. All right, today is May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day. It is also my best friend Jenna's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear, wonderful, beautiful, fantastic Jenna. Happy birthday to you. La 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 la. All right, we gotta keep going. Here we go. We need to know that the metric system decided to make the freezing point of water and the boiling point of water their reference points. They said, all right, when water freezes, that's 0. And when water boils, that's 100. And everything else can go in between, okay? So the freezing point in Celsius is 0, and the boiling point in Celsius is 100. In Fahrenheit, which is the wackadoodle English system, we say that the freezing point of water is 32 degrees and the boiling point of water is 212. That is hot. Okay, I think I've been in about 112 degree weather. We're talking almost 90 degrees hotter than that. So if you stick your finger in boiling water, that's 212 degrees. That's why your body doesn't like that. When water splashes on it, boiling water, you get a boil on your skin. Worked as a barista for a while. Definitely had boiling water on me. Okay. And now the last thing that you need to remember is the body temperature. When we take our temperature and we stick the thermometer under our tongue, it's measuring the internal temperature of our body. That is 98.6 degrees in the English system. In the metric system, that is 37 degrees, okay? In the metric system of Celsius, 37 is not really close to freezing. No, 37 is the internal temperature of your body. In the English system, 98.6 is the internal temperature of our body, and 32 degrees is freezing. Okay, here is section 1 in your book. We have 4 thermometers. I need you to start paying close attention to these things. You have to know your 2 times table. You have to be able to count by 2s, okay? Every line that you see on these thermometers stands for 2 degrees. So we go from 40 to 50, counting by 2s. 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, and 50. Over here we got 60, and we count by 2s on each line. 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, and 70. Over here we've got 10 to 20, counting by 2s. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And over here, we're counting by 2s from 90 to 100. 90, 92, 94, 96, 98, 100. Okay, count by 2s. Count by 2s. Count by 2s. Yay! Count by 2s. All right, they want you to state what the thermometer reads, and you have to pay close attention if it's degrees Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius. Okay, you've got them all here. Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit, Celsius, and Fahrenheit, okay? This is kind of cool because we'll know, if it's a warm day or a cool day. Except for Celsius, I'm really not that super duper great at converting Celsius to Fahrenheit all the time. I do know that 0 is freezing, and that 37 is body temperature. So that means, okay, so 98.6, 0 is freezing. 35, 37, about halfway. 40s. Okay. I don't know. All right, here we go. 1A, they want you to state the temperature and make sure that you are saying if it's English Fahrenheit or metric Celsius. So here we go. We start at 40 and it's up to that first line here. So 40, 42. This first one is 42 degrees Fahrenheit. 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Here we go, 60, counting by twos. 60, 62, 64, 66, 68. 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This is cold. This is nice. In degrees Celsius, 10, 12, 14. We'll take a look at that. The line comes in between 12 and 14. And what number is in between 12 and 14? 13. Very good. 13 degrees Celsius. Celsius. This one is Celsius. And over here we have 90, 92, 94. This is 94 degrees, and we're back in Fahrenheit. Oh my gosh, by golly, that's a really super hot temperature. All right, that is a hot day for sure. Okay, moving on to section 2, we need to fill in the blanks. And these are pieces of information that we need to commit to memory, okay? So that first one is blank is the unit used to measure temperature. Next is blank is an instrument used for measuring temperature. Blank degrees is freezing in the Fahrenheit scale, and blank degrees is freezing on the Celsius scale. Celsius, whoa. I need some water. Celsius. All right, so 2A, blank is the unit used to measure temperature. Well, that is the degree. And this is how you spell degree. Make sure you're capitalizing the things that you're spelling because it's the first word in the sentence, okay? I guess you can't really super duper see that. Meow, meow. Anyways, D-E-G-R-E-E. How about, can you see it now? Nah. Ah, there it is, degree, D-E-G-R-E-E, very good. Next one, thermometer. The thermo means heat, and meter means measurement. So the heat measure. Thermometer is the tool used, is the instrument used for measuring temperature, a thermometer. 32 degrees is freezing in the Fahrenheit scale, and 0 degrees is freezing in the Celsius scale. Booyakasha. Booyakasha. Okay, so that's degree, thermometer, 32, and 0. Degree, thermometer, 32, 0. Okay, so I'm going to erase all of this because we have a couple measurement equations to do. And we'll go ahead and tackle those. Pow, 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 pow. Scaramouche. Okay. Derek has 13 pencils. Gary has 3 times as many pencils as Derek. How many pencils do both boys have in all? Well, we have a couple clue words there, right? Oh my goodness, Miss Caitlin. Has it been a while since you made a video? You can spell, Okay. Clue words, both and in all. Tell us to. I hope you said add. then the clue words 3, well, I guess they spelled it out. 3 times means 3 times, okay? So we're going to be using our parentheses, and remember, please do what is inside parentheses first. All right, Derek has 13 pencils, and Gary has 3 times as many pencils as Derek. How many pencils do both boys have in all? They want you to add both boys, okay? Who's first? Derek? So we write Derek first. And then Gary is next. So we write Gary. Both and in all say that you're going to add. So put an addition sign underneath those 2 names. This is how it needs to be set up in your book. All right? This is how we do it. All right, here we go. Derek has 13. We already know how many he has, so we just put it in. In parentheses next to Gary, there's 3 times as many as Derek. Please do what is inside the parentheses first. And if you are not able to do this in your head yet and it's too difficult side by side, you can totally go ahead and write it over here, stacking up. 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 1 is 3. Now you know how many Gary has. You have to put that next to his name. And now you are all set up to find out how many they both have in all. Add. 3 plus 9 is 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 3 is 5, meaning that they have 52 pencils. Wow, that's more pencils than all of my students collectively should have in their desks right now. 12 students times 3 pencils, 36, 52. These boys got a lot of pencils. All right, so both boys have 52 pencils in all. Take to sharpen them? Double question mark. Circle your final answer. Booyah, 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 booyah. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Oh, wow. All right, so that's 3A. Let's move on to 3B. If you need to see that again, totally rewind it in the video. Okay. 3B, Saturday, the supermarket had 58 cherry pies. Delicious! 18 lemon pies, 27 fewer apple pies than cherry pies, and 32 peach pies. How many pies were there in all? In all tells you to add. And now, fewer. Fewer is a clue word. Fewer is a clue word that tells you to subtract. Okay? So, they want to know all the pies, so let's label all the kinds of pies in our final addition equation. Okay, so they said cherry pies, yum. Cherry, lemon, apple, and peach. I want pie. Okay. In all tells us to add. We know we're going to add all of these. So input next to the names, all the pies that you know for sure. So 58 cherry, 18 lemon, 27 fewer apple pies than cherry. So that means that we have to have a parentheses. So next to apple, they say 27 fewer apple than cherry. So that means cherry minus 27, and then 32 peach. Am I ready to add them all together? 58, 18, 32. Not yet. I have to do what is inside the parentheses first. That seems like a lot of math to do side by side, so I'm going to stack it up one on top of the other. 58 minus 27. 8 minus 7 is 1, and 5 minus 2 is 3. I now have my apple number. I stick it into the equation, and now I'm ready to go. 58, 18, 31, 32. Booyakasha! 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17, plus 2 is 19. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10, and plus 3 is 13. 139 pies. Delicious. How many pies were there in all? There were 139 pies in all until Miss Caitlin bought them. Because she really wanted pie. Yummy, yummy, yummy pie. And then they probably also had a lot of whipped cream on hand until Miss Caitlin bought it to go with the pie, and some ice cream that bought to go with the pie. Oh yeah. Okay, so that it is. There it is. There were 139 pies in all until Miss Caitlin bought them. Yeah. That's how you do it. Label the items that you're going to do your final equation with, and then input all the information that you know. Do parentheses first, then finish your equation. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. All right. Here we go. I've only set up for A, B, and C of section number 4 because this is something that you did on your last test. You know how to do this. This is division. 32 divided by 4 equals 8. 72 divided by 8 equals 9. 35 divided by 7 equals 5. All right, so the rest of those, D, E, F, G, H, I, is up to you. All right, please answer those. And finish the review. You've got to fill in the blank, a measurement equation, some long division, some quick division in section 9. They want you to do that just in your head and give the remainder. And I know that they want you to do it in your head because they don't give you a lot of space. And then they want you to follow the signs in the last section. Go! Be awesome!